Hey guys, I am back. I am Wildcard and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for subscribing and thank you for watching these videos that I make. So, New Zealand versus Argentina preview Rugby Championship round 3. This game is going to be played in the famous stadium of Townsville in North Queensland. Okay? And I'm just really glad that the Wallabies are not playing the All Blacks again this weekend. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy, and I'm sure a lot of you Kiwis are probably sick of beating the Wallabies. So yeah, this is a different opponent for you guys to smash over, I guess. Hopefully not too bad. But yeah, so Argentina, All Blacks this weekend. Let's have a look at some news before we start with the full team list. So there has been a couple of concussion injuries for the All Blacks. So Adi Savia got a knock and Cody Taylor got a knock. As a result, both players are not selected for the team this weekend. It's really good because concussion is one of those things that it's a bit hard to judge sometimes. Like the player physically able to run and play, but they're probably going to suffer long-term brain damage if they don't get a break. So yeah, it's really good to see that the All Blacks are taking this seriously and also probably give these guys a bit of a break to rest up for the Springbok game as well that's coming up in a couple of weeks. But yeah, so those two guys are not selected. And as a result, because Adi Savia was the captain for the All Blacks last week, so as a result, a new captain was selected for the All Blacks, which is Brodie Retallick. He comes in as the 4th captain this year after Sam Cane got injured. So 4th All Black captain. Again, my boy Scott Redcard Barrett still not going to get an opportunity as the All Blacks captain. But yeah, Brodie Retallick gets a run as the captain. At this point, you might as well just give it, you just give the captaincy to anyone that has two eyes and a mouth, right? So it's just handing those out like cookies to everybody. And so the All Blacks captain has been changed. A few changes, shuffles around the team I'll talk about in a second as a result of coming up against Argentina, and I guess give a few of the players a bit of a break. And for the Argentinian side, biggest change for them is Sanchez comes back in at the starting number 10 position, and Domingo Miotti gets dropped completely. So yeah, so Miotti is no longer in the team. He played pretty average game against the Springboks in the second test. I guess they did want to give Sanchez a bit of a break. And this lineup by the Argentinians is like very brutal. I think they have been doing a bit of testing with the combinations and stuff coming into this game. I do think that they really front loaded everything, preparing for the All Blacks this weekend. So I would not count them out so easily as the Pumas seemingly has been happy to putting different players at different positions, try out different combinations with all their games leading up to this one, including the games against the world champions. And with this game, they pretty much resorted to their best 23 players they could possibly squeeze out from the squad to face the All Blacks. So yeah, Sanchez back at 10. His kicking will be very crucial for the All Blacks. His kicking has been a little bit off, but he's really picked it back up in recent few weeks. Another thing is Jordie Barrett, his red card got overturned at the judiciary hearings. So yeah, it was a bit of a weird situation where his foot got in contact with Corin Betty in the air by accident, and under the current framework of World Rugby, that is at least a yellow card, if not a red, for dangerous and reckless play. You basically fly kick someone in the face. So yeah, he was able to go to the judiciary and have the charges dropped. So he is playing again this weekend in the starting number 15 position. Now, one of the things that I want to talk about going into this game, and none of these articles actually talk about, is the very important fact that this game is played in North Queensland on Sunday. And the All Blacks game is at 5 p.m. in the afternoon. So it's going to be 74% humidity on a cloudy Sunday afternoon. It's gonna be super hot. It's probably gonna feel like in a sauna out there on the field. And how that it's going to affect the teams, I don't know. But the All Blacks has a little bit of a history to that they do not really like playing in hot conditions. Yeah, so last year when they lost to Argentina, it was an afternoon game, quite hot conditions, and the All Blacks just did not perform under the heat. And this could be another one of those games where the All Blacks potentially struggle with the performance as a result of the heat. And think that I was thinking about this the other day as well. Since they are wearing the All Black jersey, and black, the color black absorbs more heat than other colors, so they could be much hotter on the field, especially playing in the afternoon in the heat than like other teams, just because the fact that the jersey is black and it absorbs more heat. So yeah, that's something that we as a bit of a wild wrench that goes into this game, and yeah, we'll have to see how they go. But let's get into the lineup for the All Blacks. So first up for the All Blacks, Carl Tuinukuafe gets promoted into the loser position. I do think that he was put in the bench just to match up against the Tongan Thor, and he did really well in the first two test matches, but in the third one, the Tongan Thor kind of like evened up the score with him a little bit. So now he's finally getting his, I think, deserved start at number 1 position for the All Blacks. Asat for Amoa comes in for Cody Taylor at number 2 position for the All Blacks, and Nipo Laulala retains the number 3 tight head position for the All Blacks, as he is very, very, very good from the Blues. Now, Argentina has shuffled their forwards around a little bit. They seemingly have, their scrum has been pretty good, to be honest. Despite the seemingly lack of experience from some of the players, they scrummaging against the very experienced Springbok front rowers, and I was expecting Argentina to get dominated, but they did not. So they held to their own. Very impressive. So coming in at number 1 position, Facundo Gigena. He's only had 1 cap with the Argentina, I think a few weeks back against the Springboks, which he did like not too bad. Julian Montoya comes in at number 2 for the captain, for Argentina. Number 3, Santiago Madrano comes in for the tight head position for Argentina. They're scrummaging. We should see how this goes, because the All Black scrum. This will give us a good idea of how the All Black scrum stack up against South Africa, as the Argentinians did pretty well against South Africans. We'll see how they go. Brodie Retallick gets the captaincy at number 4 position for the All Blacks, and he's just racking up those caps at 86 caps now. He's up against Guido Petty, coming in with I think Guido was playing at number 6 last week, so they've put him. They tried him out for the loose forward position at the blind, and then now they put him back into the. I think he was playing number 6 or 7 last week, but yeah, they've put him back into where he more comfortable with in the second row position. Matias Alamano comes in at number 5 position. He came off. He was on the bench for the Argentinians a couple of weeks ago against the Springboks. Scott Barrett comes in at number 5. Once again for the Kiwis. At number 6, Akira Ioane retains his spot at number 6 position. Dalton Papali'i retains his spot at number 7 position, and Luke Jacobson gets himself in the starting spot over Adi Savia, who's taking a break from a bit of a head knock. So at number 8 position, a little bit of lack of experience from the All Blacks loose forwards. I'm surprised to see. So this could be a thing where the Argentinians could exploit 6, 8, 2 caps. 6, 8, and 7 caps. So that is very few caps for the loose forward position. However, these guys are world-class players, very, very instrumental in their respective clubs. They're up against Pablo Cancelled Materas. He is like 63 caps, one of the most experienced players in the Argentinian team. And Pablo has done really well for himself to actually, he actually secured himself a contract with the Crusaders next year. So we will be seeing Pablo in the Super Rugby 12 next year. And yeah, so that is very, very difficult to make into as a loose forward, especially for the Crusaders. Like that is basically like 50% of the All Blacks, like level of in terms of like how difficult it is to get in the team. So for Pablo to get in there is such a huge, I think it's a huge, like, statement as to how good he is. And Pablo is a really high workhorse, and he can score tries as well for Argentina. He is, yeah, like by far the best player in the Argentinian team, I'm not gonna lie. Especially at least in the 4-pack. Marcos Kramer comes in at number 7 position. Again, he's a line-out jumper, so the Argentinians are playing 2 line-out jumps, 3 line-out options in the back line as well. So that is Marcos Kramer coming in at number 7. He is a little bit of he's very aggressive on the field, so he could pretend. Hopefully, he doesn't lose his temper and give away penalties or even get a yellow card. Sometimes that could happen. He's very, very short-tempered. Rodrigo Bruni at number 8 position for the Pumas. He's done pretty well for the Pumas since he kind of like pretty much solidified the number 8 position in this year. He's pretty much played a number 8 every game since the start of this season. So number 9 position for both teams. There has been a change a few weeks ago for Argentina as Kubeli is injured. So they have been trying out a couple of different number 9s for the starting position. So they have settled Gonzalez Botrano at the number 9 position with 27 caps. Quite relatively experienced. Not as experienced as Kubeli, but he's fulfilling the role for Kubeli as he's the best option left for Argentina. JJ Pienaar finally gets his starting spot. I don't know how many games he's played on the bench. And out of 70 test caps, I reckon like 80% of those he was coming off the bench behind Aaron Smith. And yeah, JJ Pienaar at number 9 position, a world of experience, really, really good kicking game, and a lot of energy at number 9 position, exactly what you want. Beauden Barrett at number 10 up against Nicolas Sanchez. This has been a matchup that we haven't seen since like 2008 or maybe 2007. So Beauden Barrett finally gets to go up against his nemesis, Nicolas Sanchez again. But Barrett's kicking has been really, really poor last week. Only 50%. 50% accuracy last week. So he really needs to lift that. Sanchez has lifted his game. He started the season in the warm-up matches. He was pretty poor. He was only like 60% or maybe a bit more than 60%. But he like kind of like really picked himself back up to about 80%, 90% in the last few games. And yeah, Sanchez is back at number 10 position. So this will be like one of those games where it really comes down to like the kicking. You could really potentially comes down to the kicking. I think the Argentinian will be more than happy to take 3 points whenever it's available and try to chip away and put themselves ahead with a bit of lead. And also the Argentina, could potentially exploit the breakdown a little bit. The All Blacks had a big issue at the breakdown night, around the 9, breakdown defense. So just coming back up a little bit, the All Blacks like front rowers really, like the tie forwards really need to work hard to defend the breakdown, because otherwise Argentina will exploit that. So that's the 10 spot. Number 11 position, Santiago Carreras for the Argentinians up against George Bridge. George Bridge got a nice tryout last week, coming off the bench. Kind of like earned himself a bit of a starting at number 11. But Carreras normally plays at 15 for the Pumas, but 11, I guess, gives him a bit more option at out on the wing to work with. And Carreras has a really, really good boot, so he could, I can see that as just an additional kicking option on the open side for the Pumas. David Havili at number 12 and up against Geronimo De La Fuente. I think he has been injured in the last few weeks. I haven't seen him play, but he's quite an experienced player for the Argentinians, 50 test caps, and he's back at number 12 in the center position. Antonello Brown comes in number 13 for the All Blacks. Very, very experienced, 52 test caps. He's kind of like scored a try last week, really performed a lot better in the third little test than he did in the first one. So he's kind of like getting himself back into the groove a little bit after being out with a little injury earlier this year. He's up against Matias Moroni. I think Moroni has also been out. I think De La Fonte has been in. I think Moroni is the one that's been out injured for a bit. I haven't seen him for the last few games now, so he's, again, a very experienced center combination for the Argentinians, something that they were lacking in the last couple tests against the Springboks. So this could be a big key point where the Argentinians could try to exploit to potentially get some points on the board. Especially Havili, Antonin and Brown combo has been a little bit clunky. Havili don't seem to be able to link up with Anton quite as well as you would expect. So these two guys still got a bit of work to do to try to improve that. So yeah, this could be an interesting matchup to see what's going to happen on the weekend. In the blindside winger position, Seville Reese comes in after taking a break last week at number 14, up against Bautista Diogai at number 14. At number 15 position, Jordy Barrett retains his spot after, the judiciary ruled him not guilty. He's up against Juan Cruz Malia. He came in at number 15 for Carreras, I think, against the Springboks. So he's not usually a 15 position, but I think his performance against the Springboks has been pretty impressive. So yeah, allowing him securing that 15 jersey and moving Carreras to 11. That is one of the changes. I wanted to see how this is going to play out as well for the Argentinians, as Carreras has been really good under the high balls against the Springboks. So we shall see how this goes. Now the substitution for both teams, Takiyahu retains his hooker position. He's already got 4 test cap already after coming in very late for Dan Coles. Now he's a regular hooker for the All Blacks. He's up against Facundo Bosch at number 16 spot. Joe Moody, the big man, he's back. 50 test caps. He's been missing out quite a bit. So finally he gets to come back off the bench. He's probably going to be moving to the starting position against the Springboks. But yeah, Joe Moody, very experienced player for the All Blacks. And Joe Moody is one of the players that last year in the Rugby Championship, just before they placed Argentina, he in an interview, he said it was really hot in Sydney and he couldn't handle it. He was complaining about the heat being too hot, and sure enough, they played Argentina that weekend and they lost. So again, North Queensland is a lot hotter than Sydney, especially if it's overcast and it's with 75% humidity. Oh boy, so Joe Moody will really have a bad time out there, I think. So he's one of the players who doesn't handle heat very well. Carlos Manzui comes in for his second test cap for the Pumas at I think it's a loose head position. Terrell Lomax plays for the Wallabies. His 8 test caps. And he's a tight head prop position. He plays for the Hurricanes now in New Zealand. And so a player that the Australian rugby did not, just like Tavao did not stop stealing our props. God damn it, New Zealand. You have plenty to pick from for your own pool. Stop stealing ours. God. Anyway, a little bit disappointed to see Terrell Lomax couldn't play for the Wallabies, born in Australia. But he's New Zealand now. And Enrique Pareto comes in for the Pumas at number 18 jersey as I think the tight head prop. Tupou Tauvai, number 19 position, once again up against Thomas Lavalini. A lot of experience coming off the bench for the Pumas. Another really experienced second rower coming in off the bench in the form of Thomas Lavalini. Ethan Blackladder retains the number 20 position. This will be his debut this year, so this will be his 4th test cap. So it will be so it's very good experience for him. He's up against Juan Martin Gonzalez. Only had 2 test cap, very young. I think he's only 20 years old or something. Brad Weber at number 21 position. He's dropped back down to the bench as a finisher. 11 test caps. He's up against Gonzalo Garcia with 4 test caps for Argentina. Also this is Argentina's reserve halfback. So with Gonzalo Garcia, there's another Argentinian player called Gonzalo Garcia who plays for Italy. So it was very difficult to finding information on this fella. So yeah, that was... I actually couldn't believe 2 players with the exact same name, both from Argentina, and the other guy plays for Italy. Maybe, I don't know. So that was a bit difficult to find information on him. But anyway, Damien McKenzie, D-Mac, stays on the bench on number 20 spot. I thought for sure D-Mac will be moving to number 15 after Jordy Barrett got the red card, it would have been a bit of a, I don't know, maybe it's just Foster showing a bit of confidence from Jordie Barrett, not, saying that it was your fault, but still, I thought D-Mac would have probably moved up. But then again, they do need D-Mac on the bench. D-Mac is not on the bench because he's, like, technically second tier. D-Mac is on the bench because Beauden Barrett is starting, and they want D-Mac to fill up Beauden Barrett in the second half, most likely. So last week, D-Mac fielding for Jordie Barrett, that's only because Jordie Barrett got red carded. But this week, I do think D-Mac will move into number 10 position when he comes off the bench. And Rico Ioane gets a bit of break off the bench at number 23 position. He might come in center position for Anton Leonard-Brown. Not likely I don't think he's gonna be putting the win potentially over George Bush, but I don't think it's very likely. And you might notice Will Jordan, the Superman, is taking a break. So by far the best back for the All Blacks even against Australians. So it's good to see that he's taking a break and taking a bit of easy. So for the Pumas, Santiago Chocobaras gets dropped to the bench after playing center for a couple games. And Emiliano Boffelli is a number 23 jersey for the Pumas. Now, let me know what you think this game. I think Beauden Barrett's kicking. It's going to be, in terms of goal kicking, I do think that's the Sanchez has a big advantage over Beauden Barrett, and the hit could be a factor. So I am not going to count out Argentina this game. I'm reluctant to say that this could be an upset, but I am predicting this could be a draw. To be really frank, I think this game could be a draw. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Wildcard punt. How many kicks Beauden Barrett's going to miss? Let me know in the comments down below. And thank you for watching this video, guys. My Wallabies versus Springbok preview is also up, so feel free to check that out. And have a good weekend, guys. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Cheers.